Hello Leo, how are you? Welcome to your November reading. I was shuffling and the Ace of Cups popped out, so I'm going to turn the camera on and go ahead and get started with that. So starting off with the Ace of Cups is a really beautiful sign, especially for those of you who are either looking for or dealing with relationship issues. Well, obviously you're not looking for relationship issues, but looking for love. It just gives an air of readiness. And an Ace of Cups, and I always say this, I've said this in several readings this month so far, is that the aces can come in quite loud. They're not something that you can easily ignore. Love can come in, a new person can come in, or there can be a moment of rekindling or restructuring of your relationships when this comes in. And it's usually for the betterment of your emotional state. Right? Becoming more emotionally fulfilled, feeling and appreciating a sense of simplicity in your life. Simplicity is the basis for happiness, right? Having a life that is flow or has the ability to flow, flexibility, everything like that. So that's a beautiful way to begin the reading. And your heart is quite open, open to possibility. And the Magician is coming in commonly as well with the readings this month. The Magician being a powerful force, a one, right? The one of the major arcana who is the ruler of the Ace of Cups. So it sort of amplifies and supports everything I just said. Magician is a burst of inspiration. Excuse me, guys. I'm not feeling so well, so hopefully I won't have to. Hopefully I won't have to stop. The Magician is. We also got the Queen of Swords here. The reason why I'm hesitating, and I apologize for my lagging, but the Magician can be tricky. It can be illusionary. And I don't know if for sure that there's someone around you that cannot be trusted, but rather I sense that there's a lack of trust of your own intuition for some reason. It's not necessarily mistrust towards someone else, but sort of mistrust towards yourself. Are you afraid that you're going to make the same mistake again? Are you afraid of moving forward? Are you afraid of what the universe is trying to give you? Because Leo, you can easily get hurt because you give so much. Leo is one of the most love-oriented signs, one of the signs that is very service-oriented as well, that gives as much as they receive. So when you give, not only is it selective, right? You don't just give to just anybody. You give to people that are very, very special. And when that goes awry, you get hurt the most, right? And the Queen of Swords coming out, I'm not sure exactly who this indicates, but let's just speak openly about her right now, because I'm sensing that there's been there is a sharpness here. She's coming in, and whether it's a cold shoulder or cutting out those things that are bad for you, but yet she's very in tune with her intuition, the Queen of Swords, right? I kind of always see her as being someone that has a direct line. In the other Rider-Waite deck, we have the Queen holding up her sword, and it's pointed up toward the sky. And I often see that sword, and even, I don't know if you can see that, but her sword here pointing upwards as well. I often see that sword kind of being like a lightning rod. So you have the lightning of the Magician, right? That ethereal force coming down to you, and the receiver is the actual sword itself. So I do feel that you are receiving intuitive messages, and it's super important for you to really pay attention to those. Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that people around you cannot be trusted. It's more a reflection of you having a difficult time trusting yourself, and out of fear, right? Fear of not wanting it to happen again. And what did I just say? Five of Swords, a card of patterns, repeated behaviors, cyclical situations that kind of keep resurfacing over and over. Some of you have a tendency to fall in love with the same type of person over and over again. Some of you have a tendency to go around in circles with the same person. So I'm actually sensing that this is more you more than anything. And you are the one that is having to be a little bit cold and a little bit harshly honest with yourself, right? Because you don't want to go through this again. And if you're dealing with someone that's kind of been hovering around for a while, whether it's your partner or just someone that's just kind of had your heart, you know, I think that something new is really coming in for you. And you're going to move in a little bit slowly, probably a little more slowly than normal, more cautious, more fearful. You know, I think that the fear is merited though. You know, it's not like you're fearful for no reason, and you're just trying to protect yourself, I think. Some of you have kind of lost in a situation. This is the Lord of Defeat, meaning you're surrendering, like white flag up, hands up, okay, I give up, universe, please just like give me something beautiful, give me something that I can capture, that I can hold on to and make something real. You know, Five of Swords is kind of a painful place, and it's kind of like from the bottom looking up rather from the top looking down. And realizing your vulnerability. It's super, super important to really be in touch with your true values. Values has been a theme this month as well for a lot of signs, and we're getting Venus here, the symbol of Venus, if you can see that. And the reason why Venus is really standing out to me is because it's time for us all to really say what is really important in my life and what is really a true motivator for me. Is it love for love's sake, or is it, you know, a love based on true friendship and true compatibility? And that might seem a little bit obvious, you know, but sometimes the obvious stuff escapes us. King of Wands. And this is actually your card, you know. Let's see. Really was seeing this as you. It still can be you. Maybe you're being displayed as both. Maybe this is someone else. But either way, there's two people, you and someone else. And I do see the Queen of Swords sort of turning her back and the Chariot of Fire. They're kind of going in opposite directions and being connected with the Magician. Maybe this is a highly independent love, a love that is based on true autonomy of two souls, right? Because a Queen of Swords and King of Wands, they don't need anybody else. They're highly independent. They are self-sufficient. They are not reliant upon others from an emotional standpoint. And I think you are coming into this situation, into this Ace of Cups situation, with a lot of strength and a lot of power. And it's appreciated by that other person. Your sense of independence, your sense of, I'm going to do what I need to do. And if you want to come along for the ride, great. If not, great. But I'm going to just do what I want to do, right? Your values, sticking true to those things that are important to you and not compromising or giving up for the sake of someone else's happiness. Now, I know that this could be misconstrued as saying, you know, selfishness or not being there for your partner. It's actually quite the contrary. These are just two very self-sufficient people that are running alongside parallel to one another as opposed to being codependent on one another, you know? And Two of Swords. It's a card of balance, Lord of Peace restored. There is peace here, and I think the peace is very internal to you. Okay, it's feeling very natural. If you are entering into a new relationship with a King of Wands or a Queen of Swords, your heart is very open to possibility, And I do feel that you are highly tuned in to these ethereal messages, because we have the Magician, which is ruled by Mercury. We've got the symbol of Mercury up there. And Mercury was the god, you know, Hermes, the god, the messenger god, the one that was able to go from Mount Olympus to Earth to the underworld, up and down and up and down, and was the one that could be very swift and move quickly. And you know, he was sort of immune to a lot of things and sort of a very independent soul. And I feel that independence really ringing through here. And you're being blessed by the presence of Mercury, I believe. You're being blessed by this. Meaning Mercury is bringing the answers. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense. Because to me, with the moon here, the Two of Swords, you already possess the answers. So the fears that you have of repeating patterns, of doing the same thing with someone new that you did with someone old, you know, I think you're going to know whether or not it is the same thing, or whether or not it's different. You know, I think a lot of you will be operating in a different kind of way than you have been, and it's much, much healthier for you, and is much more a guarantor of success in a relationship or in a situation, in terms of your emotional state. Two of Swords. You already have the answer. You already know what to do. You don't need to spin your wheels. You know, do what's best for you. Five of Swords. And then we have Fortitude, the other card of Leo, the card of strength. Okay. It might take a lot for you to not give so much. It might take a lot for you to kind of have your boundaries up. This connection is different. It is very different. This person is very different for you. This may or may not be a romantic situation, you guys. But if it is, you really do have... I'm seeing like a power couple coming out here. It's really what I see. A power couple that is matched in terms of aesthetics, desire for elegance, desire for peace, because I think that they too also are very in touch with their values and are not necessarily willing to make the same mistakes that they have made in the past. They too are somewhat operating in fear, but yet not fear of being in a relationship, not fear of being together, but fear of compromising themselves. And that strength comes into play not only with them, but with you as well. Okay? And Two of Swords, you already have the answer. King of Swords and King of Cups. So many kings, you know? Let's see here for a moment. I feel like there are multiple options for you. Leo, really? I don't know why. I'm not, like, this is your card, but I don't feel like it's you. Like, because this is, like, the only female, regardless of your sex, this is, like, this is you at the crowning top position of the card. And then we have... I don't know, what, 3 potential suitors maybe, or maybe it's just a different version of one person, or different sides of a single person. People who are very mature, or someone who is very mature, multi-layered, in touch with not only their progressive and passionate and spiritually motivated side, but their high-minded, intellectual, philosophy-loving side, and their emotional side. Like, I wonder if this is someone that has so much depth and is actually someone that you could really, really be with. You know what I mean? Like, if you could actually really be with this person, you may have found, I don't know, the one for some of you, but not like in an overly romantic comedy movie type Hollywood thing, but something based on friendship, something based on respect, something based in honesty. You know, this is someone that can really handle, you know, they can really handle you. They're not afraid of that independent side of you. Now, if this is multiple people, I'm seeing the connection between a Queen of Swords and a Queen and a King of Swords, right? Because they're the same suit. And if you're dealing with like multiple options, this King of Swords, this is the card of Aquarius, but could be another air sign like Libra or Gemini. But they might be better suited for you just because they kind of view the world in a similar way, you know, or you have similar cultural backgrounds or similar just ways of viewing life, similar goals, that type of thing. I'm going to scoot this over. I'm going to pull a few more cards to kind of cap off the reading. But you guys, I think you might be getting into something for real. Take your time. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. There's no need to rush with this, okay? Yes, of course. The Hanged Man. I knew it was going to come out because it's been coming out like crazy with all the other readings. And the Hanged Man is a Neptunian influence. When we speak of Pisces and Neptune, we think of dissolving of boundaries. Boundaries are critical for you because I believe it was a lack of boundaries in the past that has gotten you where you are today. It taught you many lessons, of course, but it's causing this hesitancy to move forward. Whatever hesitancy and whatever state of suspension that you're in, like, because I'm not seeing a lot of movement, to be honest with you. I'm seeing a lot of deliberation, a lot of consideration. This is a card of Libra. This is also a card of Libra. So you have that balancing act. You have that, you know, like really looking at all the options and all the possibilities. Just be careful that you're not overthinking because, like I said, you already possess the answers. You already possess the outcome of this. And the Hanged Man, if you have a love or a, you know, someone that you loved the idea of them, now is really a good time to let that stuff go. To look at what's actually in front of you, to look at something that's real, and to act accordingly. You know, you don't have to make the same mistakes. This person can be very patient. Okay, they can be patient. And if you're dealing with someone that is impatient, someone that's like trying to get you to possess you, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone else. Okay. Ace of Swords. A promise of truth. A promise of the answer. Another air influence. I don't know why the air signs are really catching my eye right now. There's even an Aquarian here, Libra, you know, that kind of thing. Ace of Swords is about truth and honesty. Okay. I felt like I wanted to say something else and it just sort of escaped me. And the Star. Well, another Aquarius. So Aquarius is prominent in this reading here, guys. So make a wish. I feel that the situation in which you find yourself is a situation for true and genuine healing. And if you need continued time to heal, I don't think this person is going anywhere. I don't see that they're specifically impatient. They could be a little bit on the demanding side because we do have 3 kings, you know, and they like what they want when they want it. You know, they're not the perfect person, but they might be the perfect person for you. And true compatibility is like, pow, right in my face here. Actually, it's almost kind of like, can you handle them, right? Can you handle their maturity? Can you handle what they bring to the table and what they're really offering? The star is magical. It's a one day at a time type of influence, type of miracles, just small little things, one by one. You finally getting the things that you deserve. But let's not, you know, overlook the fact that the Queen of Swords, you know, she's got someone's head in her hand. You know, she can be harsh. She's a harsh judge, and she's a harsh, she carries out justice in a harsh manner. And first of all, the harshness isn't scaring anybody away, okay? Which means honesty is really going to be, you might as well be honest, because it's, why not, you know? Take your time, because why not? And do it right. You know, do it the right way. I'm suspecting that a lot of you aren't having overly romantic feelings here, that it's not this overwhelming sense of, oh my God, I love this person so much. It's not like that. And I think that's what makes it different, is that this type of person, or even these people, they sort of cater to it's like when you see old couples that have been together for like 30, 40, 50 years, and you look at them and you're like, wow, they really have some kind of foundation that you can't really understand. And I feel like that's kind of what this is, a foundation that you can't really understand. But you're not going to scare this person away, or even these people away. And some of you may even have a pick, you know, pick your choice, whichever one you want. Although I am really feeling that it's a lot of just the layers of the same person, but it's going to vary for each of you. Okay? I mean, a beautiful reading for you, Leo. Slow, take your time, be honest about what you need in a relationship. Don't be afraid to say like, yeah, I need attention, or yeah, I need to feel special. I need to be taken out to nice restaurants, or you know, whatever the typical Leo, you know, and everyone has their Venus in a different sign. Like I have my Venus in Leo, right? But Venus can be in Scorpio, or it could be in Virgo, or whatever. So be honest about what truly matters to you, and then decide if this person can fit into that, rather than you trying to conform and fit into someone else, okay? All right, Leo, I will leave you with that. I wish you nothing but the best this month. Thanks so much. Bye.